and agenda of the October 22nd meeting in accordance to state law and council agency, successor agency to the redevelopment agency policy. We do have a number of presentations, so let's go down below. So we have crime free. All right. Want to go ahead? Sure.
Good afternoon, Mayor Lewis and members of the council. Thank you again for having us here today to acknowledge the City of El Cajon's crime-free multi-housing managers in their communities. My name is Samantha Shuren, and I work for the El Cajon Police Department, and I do our crime-free multi-housing program. The crime-free multi-housing program is a crime prevention program designed to reduce crime, drugs, and gang activity on apartment properties. It's similar to Neighborhood Watch, and our goal is to create a sense of community within a community. There are 3 phases that need to be met in order to become certified. There's an 8-hour training. We do an inspection at the property, and we also meet with the tenants and do a tenant awareness meeting. So today, I would like to acknowledge the following managers for their participation in the crime-free multi-housing program. So I'd like to start with Broderick Day. Broderick, if you want to come on down. He was here.
Right.
Okay. Broderick is the manager of the Camden Park Apartments located at 525 East Camden. Sorry about that. They are managed by the Conam Property Management Group, and they've been certified in the program since 2006.
Round of applause.
I'd like to call forward Cynthia Martinez.
Did you want them to stay afterward for a photo?
Yes, please.
So if you need to call, stay afterward for a group photo.
Cynthia is one of my newer managers, and she manages the Casa Tierra Apartments located at 355 Orlando, and they're managed by SunWest Property Management and have been certified in the crime-free program since 1998. I'd like to call for Carol Embray. Carol is the manager of the Villa Grande Apartments located at 1360 East Madison. The Villa Grande Apartments are managed by LEW Management and have been certified in the crime-free program since 2003. Carol's been managing the property since 2009 and is a very proactive member with the crime-free program. I didn't see him. Is Joseph Jones here? Is Swasan Halleck here? And I'd like to call forward Carrie Lane. Carrie and her husband Don, who couldn't be here today, have been very proactive in the crime-free program. Actually, they've been a part of the program since it started in 1997, and they manage the Madison Manor Apartments located at 965 East Madison, and that apartment community has been certified since 2004. And last but not least, one of my newest additions, I'd like to call forward Danetta Flores. Danetta is the manager of Pacific Mollison, and it's located at 642 South Mollison. I've worked with Danetta for years, and she's very committed to the crime-free program. However, the property that we're certifying or acknowledging today was certified in September, and it's one of my new properties. And there are phases that the manager has to go through, and so
Thank you, Sam. I just wanted to take a brief moment and thank the mayor, city council, and staff for taking a moment during the city council meeting to officially recognize the positive contributions the crime-free program has had in our city. And thank you, Sam, for all your work.
Okay, do we have a Ladies of Hope representative today? Ladies of Hope? Okay, we have accommodation for them too as well. So, only one request. Okay. And Tony, you brought this to our attention, so do you have to say with us what they do, or how?
Sure. I recommended that the Ladies of Hope receive accommodation from the City Council for all their work that they do in the refugee community, and unfortunately they weren't unable to be here. I got a call from one of them recently, within the last few hours actually, and they are very happy with that award, and we hope to have them back in front of us at another time.
All right, thank you very much. That's it. If you receive an award, please go outside and we'll take a photo. Okay? Okay, agenda changes. Staff? None. Council? Okay. On hold or not? Okay, so what we need to do is to have the record show that Tony is not voting for that particular item, okay? Is that correct, Mr. Attorney?
Mayor and council, usually that comes up when we take up the consent calendar, but if you would state the conflict for the record, it's required by law.
The conflict is that the company that's doing some subcontract work on that is a company that I used to own and I no longer own, but I think it'd be better if I abstained.
Okay. Is that clear to everybody? Okay, so Tony will be indicated on the record as abstaining and not voting on that particular item.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but was this company a source of income to you in the last 12 months?
Yes.
Okay, so you're disqualified from participating, not just abstaining.
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay, consent items 1.1 through 1.14. So Kathy, do you have any consent items pulled by the public?
we do 1.8.
Any other card? Kathy?
No, that was it.
Okay, council members? Do we pull any consent items? Okay. Staff, do we pull any consent items? No. Okay, to move approval of the consent items 1.1 through 1.14 with the exception of 1.8 pulled by the public, and just notation that Tony will be abstaining from 1.114 due to conflict of interest.
Second.
Move second, please vote. That motion passes. Thank you very much. 1.8. Kathy?
Sam Abad.
Adjust the microphone, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Sam Abad. I'm here on behalf of the restaurant. I'm sure you have guys seen me in the past. I was the first person to come here. And after the misunderstanding the concept of playing cards at what we call a community club or gathering, we were told that we can apply for that license and make recommendation, and we're going to issue few licensing for these premises on the basis of recreational use. One of these places that I have sold in the past, and from my understanding the last time, that this was actually forbidden since 1984 here in San Diego and in the city of Cajon, but was never executed. At the time, I owned a restaurant. When I sold it to this gentleman, I'm representing or speaking on his behalf behind me, I was under the assumption there was no such law and that was not executed. I was under the assumption that as a community, we can gather at a place and use the cards for recreational reasons and serve food and beverages there. However, after I left the restaurant, I was still co-signer for this gentleman behind me on a lease. And it was a lengthy lease, and in total money that exceeds over $500,000. And I will stand liable for that amount of money if for somehow this lease failed. And I asked what's the right thing, and I think I appeared here in front of council and I spoke before, and I was told to go and apply for a license, explain the reason for the license, and we'll look into it. And Boer was the original applicant in this place, and we did exactly what we were told, and it came back, and we were waiting for this hearing, and it says to be denied. However, I don't understand the reason for denial, and I wanted to hear from you guys if we did anything wrong other than what we were told to do, so we can maybe correct it.
Gary?
Sir, when did you sell the restaurant?
I sold the restaurant July of 2011.
Okay. I'm just going to read something from the police report.
Please do.
Okay. On-site inspections found evidence of unlawful gambling. The playing of cards and similar games is closely regulated to prevent illegal activities. Issuing the license would be contrary to the public peace and morals, as the city does not allow gambling in the community. And then this is from the police department. The issuance of a license or permit would be contrary to the public health, safety, or general welfare. Evidence from on-site inspections indicates that illegal gambling is occurring. Illegal gambling creates additional criminal activity, which is why it is closely regulated industry nationwide. Unlawful activity is contrary to the public health, safety, and general welfare. The objections of private residents in the immediate vicinity warrant denial of the license or permit. The city has received multiple and repeated complaints about unlawful gambling at the business. During multiple inspections of the premises, city staff observed little to suggest the business is a bona fide restaurant. A card room may only operate as an accessory use to one of two permitted principal uses, a restaurant or club. Very little food was observed in the business on multiple inspections. Applicant or persons having direct management or employees are not proper persons to carry on the business for which a license is sought. This determination will be made with reference to, and among other things, whether such persons have ever been convicted of any offense relating to the conduct of the type of business or activity which a license is sought.
Do you have a response to that?
Yes, may I comment on that one,
Well,
sir?
we have, I'm not quite finished here.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Now, on in 726-13, El Cajon Police Department officers conducted a business code compliance inspection at the URE restaurant. Inside the business, officers observed the following. A total of 27 males inside the business. I observed 3 card tables, each with 7 males sitting and playing cards. At one of the tables, it was observed that money was being exchanged, along with what appeared to be a ledger book. However, upon police officers entering the establishment, the money and the ledger pages were quickly concealed, removed, and taken outside through the rear door of the business. That leads me to believe they knew they were doing something wrong.
Okay, sir.
Okay, I haven't finished yet. Additionally, the players claimed to be playing a scorecard game in an attempt to explain the ledger book, a spiral-bound notepad. Officers noted that the score sheet presented was new and did not yet have any scores posted for the players, which seemed inconsistent with the fact that it was clear that the primary activity at the business was card playing and not food services. And this kind of goes on, but we received complaints at City Hall on many occasions from the wives of people that have lost their rent money or grocery money. So we're looking out for you, the public, to protect you from people that are taking your money. And that's the reason, in my opinion, that the police department wants us to deny this permit.
Mr. Gary, may I please?
Absolutely.
Let me be very frank. People who have something to hide, and if they were gambling, and I would like to ask the police, I was there, by the way, I was there that night, and they don't leave doors open. We know that. And to my knowledge, there is no other game of cards that you don't keep score of. And if there's anybody who's active in an illegal activity, will not leave the doors open. And I have personally came here, and I explained this concept very clearly. This concept is a place where Chaldean people, mostly or predominantly Chaldean people hang out. But there's food be served there. Now, there's baseball games, there's football games, there's Arabic channels, there's a lot of things. They come in there and gather, and when they're hungry, don't be surprised if you don't see food, and don't be surprised if you walk in there and see 80 people or 30 people eating at the same time. So that is not really nothing new. But I promise you there's food in there. These people pay tax on food in there. And this is the concept. The concept, nobody ever come in here and said that people come in there to eat. People come in there to hang out, and they do play cards. And I think it's a privilege for anybody who has within their culture to go and play cards somewhere else. Now, as far as being accused of gambling, and I'm only going to say accused because they were not caught gambling, and if they were caught doing illegal things, they should have been arrested. If anybody that thinks that there was some gambling done there, this is the promise that we made to you guys, that this is a game the word is just escaped me. This is for recreational reason and not gambling reasons. And I told him specifically, I hold a license, I hold a dealer's license. We don't own licenses, it's a privilege to have a license. And I told him to get a license like that, it's a privilege. And if you mess it up, then you lose your privileges to have a license like that. So I'm pleading my case here because I think they're doing the right thing. We did everything that we're asked of. We left the doors open. I don't want to say that it is all right, but I'm sure you guys will give us the benefit of the doubt to go enjoy what we like to enjoy. Gambling is legal in San Diego. There's a 20 minutes away, you can go to any casino in San Diego and gamble if you like to gamble. However, I don't believe for 1 minute that there's that many complaints for that particular location. Now, if you're telling me on the 801 East Main Street and what we used to call the alley rats, yes, I agree with you, there was a lot of problems. That's not something that we as Chaldean community proud of. Whatever happened there, I promise you 99.9% of the Chaldean community were totally against what happened there or what took place in these places. And we're not proud of them. But at this particular location, I would like to see police report that they say there was many phone calls there that there's illegal activity or something that went there wrong. I think it's very quiet. They maintained, they kept the doors open. And the only problems that I had when I was there is sometimes when we had music there, we threw like a communion party. I had one neighbor behind me who made a complaint, and I know the police came there and they just said to him, turn the music down. That's the only complaints I've ever heard there. But as far as problems and illegal activity, I don't think there's truth to that. And again, if there's an illegal activity, nobody would open the door and go do something illegal. They would shut the door and you know, who's gonna come and check to see what they're doing inside there?
You referred twice now to a gentleman sitting behind you as being the owner.
Yes.
Can you identify him?
Yes.
What is his name?
Mr. Cajon Gorgis.
Shimon? And he doesn't speak English?
Not, actually, Mr. Mayor, no, not at all. He speaks better Chaldean than English. This guy's lived in the villages.
Right,
I'm just kidding.
right. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, to remind the council, last year the city council approved a card room ordinance on behalf of the Chaldean community so that legal card playing could take place in El Cajon. There's been a number of legal card rooms applied for and approved by this city council since that time. The ordinance required certain conditions to be in existence. After staff, including the police department's review of this particular one, they didn't meet the conditions for all the reasons that are outlined in detail in your staff report, including the police report that Councilmember Kendrick just mentioned. I personally talked to Mr. Abed a few months ago because he called me. I outlined all of these issues to him in detail and told him that the city could not, would not approve a future card room ordinance if illegal activity continued to go on, and he said he understood. Our police chief, Jim Redmond, is here tonight if the city council wishes to hear more from him directly, but I wanted to remind the council as well as the audience about the background of what the council had already done on behalf of card playing in the city.
Okay, Mr. Redmond, are you available? I have a question for you. You heard Councilmember Gary Kendrick as well as the gentleman at the podium. Is it basically the same facts that you understand it, or what?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Is the facts the same as what you understand?
Yes.
Right.
What Councilman Kendrick said is true.
Okay. So, Bill.
Thank you, sir. Chief, I have just a couple of questions for you. I think part of the crux of the argument that I was hearing was that these kind of card games are indicative of the culture and we're misunderstanding what's going on. Are you looking at, there's several card rooms that have the exact same kind of gaming as in El Cajon, right?
True.
Do you know how many we have?
I think it's probably 8. Yeah.
I believe there's 4 that's been approved so far by the city council.
4.
Yeah.
There's an allowance for up to 8.
All right, so are you looking at those other 4 that are already in existence?
We have not received a single complaint on any of the other 4. So we are not.
Is I guess what I'm trying to establish, is this particular business different than the other 4, or is it the same in your opinion?
It's different in my opinion because we have received complaints on this particular one of illegal activity. We've done inspections on this location and we found what we believe to be illegal gambling. We found poker chips on the premises, which are indicative of gambling. We found money on the tables where they're playing cards. On one occasion, we also found alcoholic beverages being consumed, which is illegal because they don't have an alcoholic beverage license.
And I should also reiterate, the other 4 are legal card rooms because the council granted the permit. There is no permit on this property. There shouldn't be any card playing of any kind at all for a public room, whether it's gambling or not gambling.
So just make it clear, this establishment should be a restaurant only?
Yes, until it has a permit from the city for a card room.
And then is there some kind of an issue with calling it a restaurant in your mind?
It is not a restaurant. We've been to the site many, many times, both police as well as code enforcement staff. There is occasionally a few salads out there being served, but it's not a restaurant open to the public.
All right. Well, thank you, Chief. That's all my questions.
Do you have a person on your staff that speaks Arabic or Chaldean?
We do.
And were they available that night that they were there?
They were not seen, but they were available.
Right, because do I understand that the owner was on the premise? Is that true? Or could you ask him? Was the owner at the premise at the time?
Yes, he was.
Okay. Could we continue this for another 2 weeks to, are we in a rush to do this?
No,
So continue this for 2 weeks just to get some additional information. But I would like to make sure that when we visit a place for compliance, that we make sure we have somebody on staff or somebody able to be contacted who can speak Arabic or Chaldean or whatever. And we just to interpret, because I noticed that the meeting, showing up meeting here was in English, so we just need to make sure that everybody understands the seriousness of this and to explain to the owner what we allow and what we don't allow. It's nice that the previous owner shows up for this, but for reasons I'd like to continue this for 2 more weeks and then have it come back. That's my motion. Do you have a second by Bob? Move second, please vote. Okay, meeting be continued till when? Or the next meeting?
3 weeks.
November 12th, okay? We'll come back then and we just need to make sure it's a restaurant. and-
November 12th?
No, November 12th.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Contact the city attorney or the city clerk. Okay, so that takes care of all our consent items. So now move on to public comment. And before we get into that, we'll take a quick 2-minute break, then we'll be back for that, okay? 2 minutes. Me? 20? Okay. So, go ahead and hear the first name.
Esma Garmo.
Please come forward and test the microphone.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, council members, and staff. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Besma Garmo, and this is my colleague, Amanda Aziz. We are here to bring some really exciting news to this community. About a year ago, a group of Chaldean Americans and non-Chaldeans decided that now was the appropriate time to start a Chaldean American Chamber of Commerce. We are happy to report that they were successful in assembling a board of directors and an executive board. We are extremely happy that we have been getting a lot of participation from the public. We've been open, the membership committee has only been open for 1 week, and we have received dozens and dozens of member applications. This is a historical event. There has only been one other Chaldean American Chamber of Commerce in the entire world. This is the second one in the entire world, after the one in Michigan, the Chaldean American Chamber of Commerce in Michigan. So this would be the second one. And the main reason that we are here today is to cordially invite you to attend our first annual cocktail reception, which will be on November 22nd. It's a Friday, at the Cottonwood Golf Courses in the beautiful Rancho San Diego area. There will be lots of food and drinks and entertainment, and most importantly, we will be announcing who the chamber president will be. We hope that all of you can make it. We have more than 48,000 Chaldean American in East County, and 60% of them own at least one business, 40% of those own 2 or more businesses. I mean, dating back in 1,000 years ago, Chaldeans were always part of the commerce and trade, and they were known to be traders. Chaldeans were the epicenter of trade worldwide, and now they are in the epicenter of trade and commerce in East County. So we look forward to seeing all of you at our annual cocktail reception on the 22nd. We hope that you will be there, and we thank you for your strong leadership. Our people would love to see you there and see you supporting them. You know that Chaldeans are here to foster business. We create jobs. We are here to take advantage of the American dream. I am a Chaldean American immigrant, first generation, and I know that America is a dream. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we have invitations for all of you.
Right, just give it to the clerk and she'll pass it on to us.
Great, we'll see you all on the 22nd.
Oh, Bob, you have a question?
I just was happy that they brought an invitation along, so we have the time and date and place and everything down, so we don't lose the information.
Very good, Gary?
And I would invite the Chaldean Chamber of Commerce to participate in our patriotic celebration of diversity, America on Main Street. You are what we are all about.
We will be there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kathy,
Lorenzo Higley.
please come forward, just the microphone.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, Lorenzo Higley, Communities Against Substance Abuse, and I'm here today to honor and recognize one of your own who was honored at the Red Ribbon Luncheon, the annual luncheon this past Friday by the Community Anti-Drug Coalitions of San Diego, the Drug Enforcement Agency, and many local law enforcement leaders. Councilmember Gary Kendrick was recognized at this event with the Excellence in Prevention Award. And I want to summarize the nomination form that ended in his selection as the awardee for the Excellence in Prevention. Councilmember Kendrick has patiently led efforts to craft municipal policy solutions that would reduce the availability of alcohol to both serial inebriates and youth over the last 3 years. These efforts included support and patience for the year-long effort by the local Merchants Association to reduce illegal sales, neighborhood sign-up, and increase compliance with existing laws governing retail off-site alcohol sales. While neighborhood conditions improved for about 6 months following that campaign, the bad apples in our retail community soon resumed business as usual. Complaints from other businesses about their daily encounters with public drunkenness included human waste on their doorsteps, trash left behind, and customer harassment in the city of El Cajon. El Cajon Police Department's surveillance revealed consistent patterns of illegal sales by local alcohol retailers, while arrests increased by 59%. In January of 2013, Councilmember Kendrick led his colleagues in a 7-month policy development effort that will dramatically reduce the availability of alcohol to youth and serial inebriates. The ordinance adopted will hold all on-sale alcohol licensees to standards of behavior that currently exist in state law using the land use authority of the city. Combined with El Cajon's local enforcement capacity, the ordinance offers the capacity for local control of alcohol-related problems. Councilmember Kendrick's leadership of his council colleagues involved council members, several merchants associations, the Chamber of Commerce, the Private Business Improvement District, the faith community, concerned community business owners, and residents in the development of a groundbreaking solution to these problems. Community prevention and treatment programs, the city planning division, the police department, and the city manager all supported months of dialogue, debate, and public input into the process of developing and refining the draft ordinance. Following multiple meetings among all constituencies, 2 planning commission and 2 city council public hearings, the ordinance was adopted on August 27th. And for that effort, Councilmember Kendrick and this council have been recognized as leading alcohol policy prevention throughout the county of San Diego.
A round of applause for Gary Kendrick. You want to say something about Red Ribbon?
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. This means a lot to me. The primary purpose of local government is to protect our citizens, and the ones that need the most protection are our children. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Kathy,
Stephen True.
please come forward. Just the microphone.
Hello Well, good afternoon, Mayor, Council, staff. My name is Stephen True, and I'm supervisor of the Clean and Safe program. We are currently in our second full year of services in the Prominent District. We took over what the former CDC had done in the past, and to date, we've been very successful in our endeavors to do that. Some of the functions that we provide, we stage summer events such as the Cajon Classic Car Cruise, the Summer Concert Series, and on a weekly basis through the year, the Farmers Market. We are a license to the community between property and business owners, between the businesses and city services, and between the homeless and the police. General services we provide is cleaning of the PBID, the Promenade Business Improvement District, pressure washing, business frontage, and graffiti removal. And we do this with 6 full-time volunteers and 1 paid full-time supervisor. That would be myself. Funding is provided by the Downtown Business Partners. We're talking about 1.5 square miles in the city. And to date, that consists of 253 individual actions and approximately 180 days of relative work this year specific to the public domain. Translates into 2,727 man-hours. We've removed 19,603 pounds of incidental cumulative trash to waste management. We have removed 60 shopping carts per month to Public Works. 94 homeless encampments in that 1.5 square miles have been abated. 86 incidences of graffiti removed, 30 reported to the graffiti removal department. 77 obstruction calls, which is abandoned sofas, mattresses, couches, desks, chairs, you name it. 77 of those in 6 months. Materials are removed to waste management. The Clean and Safe team consists of 4 team members working approximately 30 hours per week. The pressure wash team is 2 team members at approximately 15 hours per week. 790 man hours to date. Areas of responsibility include the Prescott Promenade, business frontage, bus stops, crosswalks. We also address hazard calls. Businesses will call with a specific problem. We'll answer that call. The event team consists of 2 team members with additional volunteers as needed. 2,984 man hours to date in this second quarter. 165 work days relative to these events. The Cajon Classic Cruise, the Holiday Classic Cruise, Pond Fest, dinner, concert, summer concert series, and again the El Cajon Farmers Market special events have included the El Cajon Centennial Celebration and the Mother Goose Parade. We look forward to extending our services as other business associations in the community are doing.
Thank you, your time is up.
Very good.
But I really appreciate all the work that downtown people do, and especially keeping our community clean. So we all appreciate all the hard work that you're doing and all the things come yet to come.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. And to remind the public that we are televised, as have probably our last many years. So we keep a record of all the comments made as well. Kathy,
Ramsey Murray.
please come forward. Test the microphone, please.
Good evening, everybody. Mr. Mayor, City Council. The reason why I'm here, some of the public remarks that were made by Mayor Mark Lewis toward the Chaldeans, it's kind of very shocking and alarming. I know the mayor's friend of mine, something to the fact that Chaldean school children getting free meals. I don't know if he said that or not, but whether it's I could have said people. I mean, if I was the mayor in the public, position, I would definitely not label Mr. Mayor one single culture, one single nationality. Whether I don't know if just the Chaldeans are some school children are getting freebies. It could be some Mexican, could be some black, some white. Just we don't know. And if I knew who they are, Mr. Mayor, I'll go to the system and try to fight that system, make sure that doesn't happen. That's what I would do if I was mayor of the city of Cajon. So I need you, I would like to see you give a public apology to the Chaldeans. Because I don't have to tell you, because they already told you who are the Chaldeans. I think we had the new Chamber of Commerce. We are hardworking people, law-abiding, and as you know, we take care of our families. And you have appointed 2 Chaldeans to the planning commission. So I don't know why even you said that. And so this is alarming to me. I think we should not be labeling and discriminating among the communities. And I really think, I don't know if you meant it or not, and I hope you did not, you know. So I go on record that we are good people. We work hard, Mr. Mayor. You know, we pay taxes. We employ, you know, a lot of employment employees. So if there are some people who are breaking the law or you think they're getting freebies, that's something you should take care of it one-on-one. And thank you.
Thank you very much. You heard no lies, so anybody wants to go back over all the records, all of the records, I won't see anything like that. Especially on one of our former planning commissioners' statements. It's not there. So we're televised, and that's for you. But I can understand the reasoning selection you're coming up. So take it for what it's worth.
Mark Arabo.
Just the microphone, please.
Mr. Mayor, members of council, my name is Mark Arabo. I'm a proud Chaldean American, born in Grossmont Hospital. And today I'm here and I give you guys a handout. You can pass it on to all the council members. We have a problem in El Cajon. And the problem is more than just comments or made by the current mayor that's been sourced, but the council members of your political inaction. Every time I've spoken to council members before, you've told me, yeah, Mark Lewis says this, but we don't know, we can't talk about it, that's Mark Lewis. And I gotta tell you, there isn't a community out there, whether it be Chaldean, African American, Latino, Asian, LGBT, women, that haven't been oppressed by the culture of the City Council of El Cajon. But today, we're starting a long conversation at the beginning of our conversation. It's a 12-round match, and today is round 1. Because we will do everything in our power to get representation, to get minorities on the council, to get our voices heard, and I have a solution. For any council member that says, we want to be diverse, we want to be inclusive, we like diversity, there's a simple solution you can do today. And that is district geographic elections. Instead, currently you have at-large elections, so minorities, women, African Americans, Latinos, Asians, Chaldeans, they can't be on the council to represent their community because the way the elections are. So you could fix it, put it on the ballot. And if you're sincere about it, if you say, well, those comments are out of scope or they're not sourced, well, they're sourced, Mr. Mayor, but we don't want to go backwards. We want to go forwards. We want to fix this relationship. We want to work with you guys. We want to be partners. We want the best, most beautiful El Cajon we could be. But celebrate the diversity. And today I have all the people that has been hurt from the comments. If everyone could stand up, if everybody stand up that's been hurt by different comments, if you could see, and there's few of them, but there's a lot more. There's kids, there's businessmen, there's teachers, educators. Our bishop is here. Bishop Jumbo, Bishop McKinney's here. Vicky Butcher. So this is a big deal, El Cajon. I'm from El Cajon, I love El Cajon. We gotta make it the best city possible, and you could do it. And I hope you do it because we do not want to be the Escondido of the East County. We don't want to be that. We want to do the best thing to be inclusive for minorities, for women, African Americans, Asians, and Chaldeans. And if you're sincere, it's a simple thing. You can do it very simple. and your actions will speak louder than words, because we're far beyond apologies. If you just say, let's put it on the ballot, district-wide geographic elections. Let's carve the city onto 5 districts like City of San Diego has 9. Let's make Alcohol the best place it could be, but if you don't, my friends on the council,
Your time is up.
it's round 1.
Your time's up. Thank you. You sit down, please. Please come forward and test the microphone. We're indeed honored, sir.
Honorable Mayor, honorable members of the council. My name is Wadi Della. I'm a retired state senator who served 27 years in the California legislature representing everybody. Everybody, whether they were or were not in the district. It didn't matter. I did. I was very shocked when I got hold of this kind of literature telling me that my community, my Chaldean community, is not properly treated in the city that all of us love. But we thought it is home for us. But unfortunately, that is not what I read. That is not what I hear. When you talk about the Chaldean community, honorable members of this council, you're talking about the most entrepreneurial people ever existed, ever. Wherever we went, we made that place successful. Wherever we immigrated, we made that place home. We have over 20,000 Chaldeans living in El Cajon. About 7,000 or 8,000 of them are here because they were forced out of their home in Iraq. Their churches were burned. Their bishops were shot. Their priests were killed. Their homes were invaded. And why did this happen? For those of you who are not familiar with the history of the last 20 years in Iraq, may I respectfully share with you something. Iraq was rocked, not by them, but by the policy of somebody in the White House named George W. Bush. He sent and occupied Iraq. And that's fine. That's fine. But what happened? By that time, we had 1,200,000 Christians, Chaldeans, Assyrians in Iraq. What happened after that invasion? Our churches were burned. Our priests were shot. Our homes were entered into. And a bishop in Mosul, in the northern part of Iraq, was shot to death. Thank you, Mr. Bush. Thank you very much. That action was not needed. And if I were giving a lecture on the history of that war.
Thank you very much. Your time is up, but appreciate it.
Well, I beg your patience, Mr. Mayor, because I want to get it off my heart and off my chest. We have about 20,000, 25,000 Chaldeans. There is no ethnic minority in this country. No ethnic minority in this country who are more entrepreneurial than the Chaldean community. They have their own businesses. I'm shocked if I could that we have more lawyers, more doctors, more dentists, more eye doctors for a small community in El Cajon. And incidentally, we have 2 sitting judges, Chaldeans. One of them happens to be Peter Della, who was here, presiding judge for 4 years in El Cajon. And Paulie Shamoun, who lived in El Cajon. You should be very proud of that. Chaldeans, we have a history a great history. And I think I should share it with you. A lot of us say Moses had the Ten Commandments. He did. But Moses copied the Ten Commandments from whom? King Hammurabi. I want you to juxtaposition the Code of Hammurabi with the Ten Commandments of Moses, and you would be shocked as Christians. Hammurabi, who is he? He's the Chaldean king, the father of civilization of the Middle East. He's gone. And so, all I am here to say, this is our home. This is our country. We came here because the Statue of Liberty told us, with open arms, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to be free. That is who the Chaldeans are in this country. They came answering the call of the Statue of Liberty. Have mercy, have kindness, have understanding, have tolerance. I respect that, and I ask them. I served you. I served you faithfully for 27 years. Worked with Ronald Reagan, worked with Jimmy Carter. Did we show any preference? No. I beg of you to look at our Chaldean community favorably, faithfully, and treat them as they deserve. Thank you very much.
Signs are blocking the view of people behind you, so you don't want to do that. Kevin.
Bishop Sarhat Jabal.
Pull in the microphone, please.
My name is Bishop Sarhat Jabal. I am the Bishop of the Chaldean Catholic Diocese of Western United States. I have heard some complaint about unfair treatment of Chaldeans and others in the city of Cajon. Really, this is the best land for being fair to each other. Some comments made by the Honorable Mayor about food stamp or welfare. Apply the law. There is no need to stereotype anyone. Apply the law on everyone. This is something that is not for one segment of people. When there is some Chaldean mafia, and you analyze the list, and there are 21 names, and at the end only 2 are Chaldeans. But this is how the police department and the press will report it. This is not the American way. This should not be Al-Cajon way. And Chaldeans, you know, as my dear brother, Senator Wadidada said, they have 5,000 history of civilization. They came here persecuted because of their language, Aramaic, very noble language, for their religion, Christianity. They took their houses, they took their businesses, they persecuted them, and especially in the past 10-15 years after the invasion of Iraq, 2003. So expect that someone will not be very well tempered or very well balanced. That is possible. That's possible. So it is to be expected, but don't stereotype. Deal with the problem, and we would thank you, and we are there to collaborate. We are there to do our best to build this city. There are so many good people to build it. There are so many people, great minds among Chaldeans in the schools, great entrepreneurs, great professionals, great Americans, Chaldeans, and as well as others. So I think we are there to extend hands, to help each other, build a great city, Cajon, that we call it kind of joking, but also meaningfully New Babylon, and it's a great name. Thank you.
Just the microphone, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, and to the officers of the city. I'm George McKinney, the senior pastor at St. Stephen's Church of God in Christ, and I'm here to join my voice with the voices that have gone before me, the Honorable Bishop, the Honorable Senator Juanita Mark Aruba. Join my voice with these men because justice and equity and diversity and the recognition of the dignity of each human being is extremely important to all of us. I'm here to advocate for the diversity, racism, segregation. It's not new to any of us. We've all been acquainted with its devastation. It is very important that every community recognize that the dream that has been set forth by our founding fathers can be attained not only by those who are native of this country, but for those who come here seeking the blessings of liberty, peace, brotherhood. It is important that we confront discrimination and injustice whenever it rears its ugly head. It is important that we understand that there is a way that we can live together in peace, in harmony, and become all that we can be. I want to commend you for the work that you continue to do on behalf of all the people of the region. And together we can work to deal with those remaining vestiges of racism and sexism and ageism and any ism that threatens the very peace and the dignity of human beings. Together we can change our communities for the better. We are concerned that the quality of life for all of our neighbors would be the very best quality possible. Thank you very much. I join with you in the search for justice, equity, and brotherhood.
Thank you.
Mayor Benny? Not here?
Yeah, he's absent. Going on.
Vicky Butcher?
I'll adjust the mic. Good afternoon, councilpersons, staff, members of the public. I think you all know who I am. I have been a resident, as you know, for many years. I have served this city for many years. And it is my desire to continue being an upstanding citizen and a servant of El Cajon. I join my voice with a request for district-wide elections. I know that I have come before the public, I've asked to be a representative, and I am not going to predict the future, but I do know if you walk, you win. And if I only had to walk one district, I could probably do that a lot better than walking on the whole city. So please consider the request for district-wide elections, and I certainly do support that. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak to you this afternoon.
Your quote was been circulated among different people, but can you refresh our memory as to what council meeting that took place at?
The last council meeting at which the people requested an appointment to the city council. And I did not bring the issue to the floor, but others did, about having diversity and having a woman replace the woman who resigned. And the statement was that women didn't have to replace another woman, and the statement was made that 5 white men could represent the city just as well as anyone else.
Was that someone out of this council, or
Yes.
somebody in the paper?
No, that was out of this council, Mr. Mayor. And my brother was with me, Kathleen Harmon was with me. I would not make that up, and it did cause me to think, wow, diversity is important to me, as I do represent African-American women, African-American people, as well as the city of El Cajon. But yes, that statement was made.
By city council person?
Mr. Mark Lewis, I believe that statement was made by you.
It was not made by me, and we have all of our council member meetings being filmed.
Good.
So anybody has the record, go back and look at it, see it wasn't said.
Well,
But it
I
was
thank
just,
you, and if it was not said, it makes my heart feel better. Because in presenting myself to ask for an appointment, it was simply from the position of believing that I could be a leader and could represent the city. So I do, I commend Mr. Ambrose for getting that appointment. I have no animosity in my heart. And thank you. If that is a retraction or you don't believe that, that makes me feel better.
Because anybody, that's why I asked you what date it happened, because anybody can go back over our records, all of which was filmed. And no statement like that's ever been made. And Tony Ambrose was on the planning commission for 24 years.
And I may admit that I was only on the planning commission for 12 years.
Right.
But I believe that the 12 years were enough in the perspective of preparation for such an appointment. And I certainly would never, ever, ever say anything against or believe that Tony was anything less than the best person for the position.
And that's
So
why
Tony,
he was chosen. Right, that's why he was chosen, so.
oh, I'm sure, but he is not the only person that could have filled the position.
But unfortunately, we can only have 5. There's 70 different nationalities in our city, so it's kind of hard. But I certainly understand what happened up in this.
Okay, well, we are not here to argue or to debate whether the 5 people who are sitting are more or less qualified. I was only saying that I offered my services, and Tony was chosen, fine.
Right, and I think I pointed you to the planning commission a couple times too as well.
Well, I'm not looking back, I'm looking forward.
Right.
So,
So
thank you. Yes, thank you for allowing me to speak.
And thank you. Kathy?
Alvin on.
Mr. Ford, get the microphone.
the last name is Mansour. I am the great-nephew to Father Michael Bazzi. My cousin Ted Mansour is part of the El Cajon Police Department. I'm born and raised in San Diego. My family's in real estate in San Diego. This is my first time speaking to a council, so if I'm slightly nervous, excuse me for that. I'm here to defend the Chaldean community. I do everything I can to support our refugees. My late mother was one of the first people to help our refugees and support them with furniture, mattresses, food, finding places to live. I know there's challenges here in the city, but I do believe in our community, and I think comments that have been made are not appropriate. I feel our people should have position on council. I stand by Mark Arabu, and if you look at some of our people, they've spoken about some of the professionals we've had in our community. I myself am a nationally known broker in real estate. My family is in real estate. We do about $500 million in business a year. We help the county significantly with property taxes and selling properties, redeveloping properties. Recently on Broadway, we redeveloped the Bank of the West building. My aunt opened a counseling center upstairs. We spent a lot of money on that deal. There's other properties we're currently working on in the city. I'm very close to many of the large apartment owners in town. I am working to bring more development to the city, hopefully bring some hotel development in town. When inappropriate comments are made like that, I personally take that to heart. So again, I stand by Mark Arabu. It is round one. I hope it doesn't have to go long. If it does, it will not be good for the city, and it will not be good for the people of the city. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're going to take a short 2-minute break, and then we'll be back. Finish up.
Time is it? Or
I think it's time to clear the air and talk about what this is all really about. A lot of people here, I believe, have been deceived. And what this is really about is the city council a few months ago passed a deemed approved ordinance. It was Mr. Arabo's job as president of the Neighborhood Market Association to stop us. And he failed at his job. We passed this deemed approved ordinance, which protects children from being sold alcohol. It stops the stores from selling alcohol to the drunks. And Mr. Arabo said that he would remove us from office. He would either do a recall or he would do district elections. Mr. Arabo lost on this, and now he's trying to change the council so to overturn the deemed approved ordinance. Of course, this is all my opinion, but that I think is what's happening. This council, for the last 10 years, has been on the cutting edge of protecting our citizens, especially our children, from the illegal sales of the tobacco. We were the first city in the county to pass tobacco license ordinance, and we reduced tobacco sales to children from 43% to less than 1%. And now we are doing the deemed approved ordinance, which our businesses have come to us and begged us to do because the sale of alcohol to the drunks and children are the greatest threat to the continued revitalization of this city. So I want all the kids out there to know what's really going on, that they're actually being played as pawns. And this council, and I can speak for my council members here, I have never seen any hint of any kind of discrimination. We have appointed 2 people of Chaldean to consent to the City Planning Commission, and I think that shows We're trying to be as inclusive as we possibly can. And I think this council has gone out of their way to work with the Neighborhood Market Association and many businesses in crafting a deemed approved ordinance. And Mr. Araba would say, well, if someone sells alcohol to a child, then we should put it out of business. But when we said, okay, if we keep catching them repeatedly, we're gonna take away their conditional use permit. And he didn't like that. Well, that is putting them out of business. At some point, you have to say enough is enough. And so that's what this is all about, trying to change the council in order to achieve his goal of getting rid of the deemed approved ordinance that protects this city, protects our children, and protects our citizens and our businesses.
Okay. May I remind you to keep your signs held down because you're blocking the view of the people behind you too as well. Kathy?
Tony Sotile?
Just the microphone, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, City Council members and staff. My name is Tony Sotile, and I'm an immigrant. And I sit in the Planning Commission with my fellow commissioners, and we have 2 Chaldeans. I'm going to be blunt. I agree with everything that Councilmember Kendrick said. This is an ambush. I'd like to make a few points clear. I think the senator said this, that Moses copied the commandments from Hammurabi. There is great parallelism between the 2 commandments that he gave, but it should be an insult to every Christian to say that Moses copied the commandments from Hammurabi. That's denying the Lord himself. And the Bible is replete. And the Lord said to Moses. Yes, there's many parallels, but there's one big difference between the laws of Hammurabi and the laws of Moses. They're not fair. Hammurabi says there was one law for the rich and there was another law for the poor. The Bible says contrary-wise, there's one law for everyone. Now, insofar as having district elections from different districts, what it is promoting, in essence, is discrimination. Because the city council is supposed to represent all the people of El Cajon, not just one district. One district where the Mexicans live, one district where the Chaldeans live, one district where the white people live, one district where whatever. That is not an obligation. That is not absorption into the culture. That is diversifying the culture, and the culture's not coming together. What Mr. Arabo is proposing is discrimination, bar none. Some people would say that it is innate in us to be discriminatory. Yes. We discriminate what is good, we discriminate what is evil, we discriminate what we want to eat, we discriminate what we don't want to eat. Yes, that's innate in us. But there is illegal discrimination. And what I see here being promoted is illegal discrimination, not equality for everyone. Don't take this to heart. Stand firm. Stand your ground, because I have never seen any of you be discriminatory in an illegal fashion. None of you. Everything that I've seen you do, you have done with the mind of the welfare of the entire community. And that's how it should be. Shame on Mr. Arabo for trying to do what he is doing. I'm looking at you. Shame on you.
Thank you. There's not a debate here. Please give the floor, sir. Go ahead. Give us some extra time.
Yes. I am a Christian, and I also am a pastor. I sit in the Planning Commission. I speak the truth, and I speak the truth boldly. I hold nothing back. May the Lord be upon this congregation, and may justice be done. And if I am speaking untruth or evil, may the Lord strike me dead right now. Amen.
Thank you. Catherine,
Andy Rico?
please come forward. Andy out there?
I'd like to call my
Please come to the microphone.
I'd just like to recall my call card.
Are you Andy?
Yes, I am.
Please, your name, if you wish to roll and call again. So, cancel. Next one.
Ben Colosio?
Ben, Maria. Going once? Going twice? Okay, no Ben. Next one.
Hani Tama?
Please come forward. Adjust the microphone, please.
My name is Hani Toma. I'm glad to be in the United States. I'm glad to be as a Chaldean. I come to United States November '92. I remember that day when I came in, I have a $300 in my pocket. Today, after 20 years, I'm 20 plus million. I work hard, and as a Chaldean, as everybody, and most likely a lot of Chaldean, they work hard. Your Mr. Mayor, your comment really upset me very much. Thank you.
Right. Kevin?
Robert Zakar?
Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council, my name is Robert Zakar. I am here today just to support the Chaldean community. I was born in Michigan, so I was born an American citizen, but I am proud of the Chaldean culture. Growing up, I grew up in San Diego, went to Elko in high school. I've always been a part of my community, and I continue to be a part of my community. With that being said, what concerns me most is growing up my whole life and dealing with the diverse communities that I've worked in. People have always asked me, what am I? And I said, I'm Chaldean American. And everyone that I spoke to, and I spoke about the Chaldeans who had an interaction with other fellow Chaldeans, had always told me what hardworking people they are, how close-knit and family-oriented they are, and how religious they are. And that always made me proud. So being a Chaldean was always being a Chaldean American, and having, being able to live in a land of opportunity always made me proud. What was brought before me was comments that were made by our honorable mayor, and that hurt me, as it would hurt anybody else. So I'm here today to support the Chaldean community, and hopefully that we can move forward and move past this.
All right. Gary?
Robert, I don't know if you remember me.
Of course I
do. Robert owns a mortuary, and last month he handled my father's funeral, did a wonderful job, so thank you very much.
Thank you. God bless.
Ahmad Atisha?
Hello, my name is Ahmad Atisha. I'm here as a concerned citizen. My parents, with a total of 7 children, immigrated to the United States in 1976 to pursue the life, freedom, and the pursuit of happiness. We lived in a 3-bedroom apartment. My father worked as a dishwasher, and we too were on government assistance. Through the years, we established ourselves and got off the assistance. It was a struggle, but we persevered. Now, all my siblings are very successful and still live in El Cajon. You can never underestimate the work ethics of somebody coming to this country and appreciate everything they have and every day they live through it. I was very disturbed to see the comments of Mayor Lewis in April 11th Internet issue of Alternate. I quote the mayor in this issue. Some Chaldean school children who receive free lunches are being picked up by Mercedes-Benzes. His comments were callous and very disturbing. His generalization of the Chaldean community is outright inappropriate. Mayor Lewis, My wife participates in a carpool. She happens to drive a Mercedes-Benz. Should she not pick up a child who receives free lunches? Are you suggesting the audience of this article should assume children being picked up by Mercedes-Benz, as my children do, are receiving free lunches? Mine are not. Is this the image you want to leave office as? I would think not. Now, I came here specifically for your comments, Mayor, but in response to Gary Kendrick's comments earlier in this session, I was very disturbed by your comment as well, Mr. Kendrick. Mark Arabo came here, brought his point, and then you threw a curveball at him by responding in public forum and without him giving him a chance to respond back to your comment. It was inappropriate and unprofessional. I think in behalf of the Neighborhood and Market Association, which I am the chairman of, it was inappropriate for you to say this is a ploy by Mark or by the Neighborhood and Market Association. It's another curveball, typical by the city council. It's unfortunate because I live in El Cajon and I love the city, I love America. I've come to the city council several times and I speak how every normal citizen should speak, let them speak, and then you guys make decisions the way you see fit, and I respect that, and everybody should respect it. By throwing allegations of Mark saying that he's using people as pawns is unacceptable. Thank you.
Please come forward, just the microphone.
Mr. Mayor, Council people, my name is Salam Razouki. I own 14 businesses, most of them type 20 and 21 liquor stores and beer and wine stores, and almost all county of San Diego, most of the cities. Here in the city of El Cajon, I own 3 of them, and I'm under contract to purchase 2 more liquor stores. I'm holding purchasing that because see what's gonna happen tonight. I've been through all the meeting before, and me, myself, I don't have no problem with the ordinance because I know what kind of operator I am. And every time I'm bringing a comment and I say, if I'm operating my business, inside my business, I have a control of what I'm selling or what I'm doing in my business. But there is a lot of things on the ordinance, eventually it's gonna put me out of business, even though that I'm professional and I know what I'm doing, because they want me to hire security in the parking lot. They want me to have a control of the homeless people or people drinking on the parking lot, even people parking, illegal parking in my parking lot. And it's not my problem that I have business in high crime area, which is I'm doing the best I can do to provide a good service in city of El Cajon. 3 or 4 years ago, I give my hand to El Cajon Police Department and I told them to come to my businesses and do undercover to see the people that they sell to minor outside of my businesses. And I'm the first one I told them, welcome to come to my store and to do that. But by passing this kind of ordinance, what you guys been doing, you just want people to be out of business. As I say, as an operator, I know myself, I'm a very good operator. I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for over 20 years. I came as a refugee here to this country in 1992. And I don't have to tell you how much business I have in the city of El Cajon. Everybody knows the shopping center that I'm building in the corner of Main and Mollison. And unfortunately, all this happened after you guys passed the ordinance. I wish I wouldn't know, and I wouldn't even stop. I will stop building that shopping center over there because I feel like you guys been fighting everybody, especially the Chaldean. And as I say, and every time through the council meeting and through the public hearing, whatever, I say, no, we're not gonna punish you for anything that is not under your control outside the parking lot. And okay, why you have it on the ordinance? I think it's very clear if you guys not gonna enforce it or whatever, why you have it in the ordinance? Well, I'm asking you guys, just go ahead and go through the ordinance and see what we have right and what we don't right. I think ABC rules is more than enough on top of us. On top of us, you guys want us to control the parking lot, to control the graffiti outside, to control the homeless and this and that. As I say, inside of my business,
Thank you
I
very
have
much. Your time is up, sir.
Thank you very much.
Kathy?
Faisal Zatouna.
Repeat What's your name, please?
Basile Zatuda.
Okay, I don't see nobody moving.
Albert Atala.
Okay. Please come forward and test the microphone.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members, city officers. My name is Alfred Atala. I'm a proud Chaldean American. I'm an attorney here in San Diego. I was born and raised in El Cajon. Very proud of this wonderful city that I was born and have the privilege to still live in. The reason why I'm here today is not because of any city ordinances or any ulterior motives. I'm here to support my community and to express my discontent with comments made by the Honorable Mayor. People make mistakes and say a lot of different things. Our community would appreciate an apology for those comments. We do a lot to help each other in our community. The Chaldeans have come from a long line of hardworking people. My parents struggled immensely to send me to school since I was a little kid, all the way through law school. And I can never repay them for what they've given me, but they taught me about hard work, integrity, honesty, and determination. I've since had the privilege to sit on the board of CMSS, a Chaldean Middle Eastern Social Services clinic here on Magnolia. Very proud of that organization. The organization was started by Chaldeans, funded by Chaldeans, and hopefully we get some more assistance from the government on that. We do not discriminate in that organization. We're here to help all those in need. We're going to have the first clinic, medical clinic, funded by the County of San Diego, and to help all those in need, not just Chaldeans, and help over 20 religious groups, Muslim, Chaldean, Christians, Jews, whatever comes in our door, we are there to help people. So I'm here today just to support our community, to ask for an apology, and to hope that we work together for a great El Cajon. And I'm proud and thankful to all the council members for helping our city, and hope that we can focus on positives, not negatives. Work together, collaborate, and not diversify. Thank you very much.
I have a question, Mr. Mayor.
Bill?
Thanks for coming up. You're a very articulate young guy, and I wanted to get your thoughts on this. I've heard several different things tonight. I've heard that there's outrage about comments that were made. I've heard there was outrage about kind of an institutional type of racism that is existing in the city of El Cajon towards the Chaldean community. Is it both? What is it?
I'm here today because I was upset that a political figure, a mayor, would say comments of that, such as this. As far as any sort of racism, existing in the city, I think there's always issues with any different culture, especially the problem we've had recently with, thousands of refugees being forced to leave their country and come here not knowing what to do. So that's what our purpose with the Chaldean Middle Eastern Social Service is, to help these people assimilate, not look for freebies, as the mayor so eloquently put, and to help them become productive Americans. So that's really the important fact for everybody to remember. As far as anything with the council, there's nothing against any of you guys. We thank you for your service, and I don't believe any of the issues with what you regarded to as racism.
So just to be clear, you're not experiencing a lot of institutional racism amongst yourself and the people that you work with?
I'm not. I'm fortunate that I was born and raised here, and can help assimilate myself more easier than the people that are coming.
Because my feeling about all this, and this is for everybody, I want to be judged on what I've done. I want the council to be judged on what it does. I don't want to let politics get involved and twist things and put a slant on things because it's convenient. I think you should think real clear. I think we should all think real clear about what road we're walking down here right now. Do you have any idea how incendiary this can be? How damaging this can be to the relations between the Chaldean community and the indigenous El Cajon community? If this is not really a problem, if this is a made-up problem, and we're making it a problem, it's going to become a problem. And we have enough problems. There's enough hatred in this country. We don't need this. I look back on the things that we've done legislatively in the city of El Cajon, And everything I look at has been to help the Chaldean community. I can't think of one thing that wasn't helpful to the Chaldean community. I can think of, particularly, we had an all-out war about the card room issue, because it was the Chaldean men who wanted to play cards in these clubs were technically breaking the law, and we had to go and change our law so that people could do something that was not normative in our culture, but normative in their culture. We made that change. We're helping churches become annexed in, that want to become annexed in the city. We're helping individuals. I don't see that kind of institutional racism in anything we've done. And I heard the senator, who I respect greatly, but the things that he may have given up, think about, I'd say what I've given up as an individual. In 2006, my son came, my wife and I said, please sign this paper so I can go and fight in Iraq. He went and won a medal for valor, going out into the field and dragging back the body of his best friend whose head was blown off. This is serious. If there's really a problem, let's deal with it. Let's face it head on. Let's change it. God knows I want to do anything we have to do to change it. But if it's not really a problem, let's not make it one. Thank you for indulging me. I appreciate your time.
I agree.
Thank you.
Star Bales, are you still here?
Just the microphone, please.
Mr. Mayor, Council, I'm going to speak as an individual today. Also staff, everybody else. I don't have anything prepared. I'm just going to speak from the heart and the mind, and hopefully it will mean something. Because today I'm sitting here, I'm listening, and this is why I love Cajon. It's just, there's so much passion and drive. You know, people here are they just want to make something, they want to do something. This is truly America that we know, well, me too, because I'm Chaldean born. This is what I dreamed about America. I go to America and I'm going to open a business, but unfortunately, the passion, some of the passion that I've been hearing today, it's not the kind that will produce a good thing. It's a passion that it could be either miscommunication about the issues some people have. It could be, and honestly, Council Henrik, when you said something about the alcohol, it ran through my mind, because why now? Why now we have this? We didn't have any of this before. Why now? And I know because I've talked to many of the Chaldeans, and the majority that are here today, they are store owners. And it's not easy. See, it's two different culture, two different way of where we come from, and it's hard job to learn what it's like here. But once we learn it, our perspective changes. And a few years ago, if I didn't go, I would have been probably 50-50, like here and there in my mind. But I'm totally convinced that we have great leaders, we have great mayor, and each one of you, really, you sit there and you take it, and you always turn around and do the right thing. The staff, everyone that I've known for years, I knew you, Mayor Lewis, when you were a council. And I mean, I did not know you personally, but I heard about you, and it was always good. And I've heard you many times. And those people, I wish I would have brought those people. If I only knew what was going on today. People that heard you say, I'm so proud to have Chaldeans in my city, because there is not one homeless Chaldean. They're all hardworking people, and they help each other, and they're family oriented. I heard that I don't know how many times. I've never heard anything negative.
Good, your time's up, sorry.
That's it?
I'd like to hear what else she has to say.
Oh.
Star carries a lot of weight with me.
Well, thank you. Okay, I'm just gonna answer some of the things that I heard, like,
You're out of time, sir.
I'll hurry.
Well, then I'll ask her a question. What else do you have to say?
Sorry?
You asked a question for you.
You want that? Oh, sorry.
The question is, what else do you have to say?
Oh, well, then again, I feel very sorry for people that, like, Mr. Argo, I have a lot of respect for you because I know you want the best for our city. But when it came to the alcohol, you didn't work hard enough to come up with a solution. There was no solution. I was trying so hard to hear you and pull something good out of what you have to present, but there wasn't anything that help the problem that we had in our city. We have alcohol-related crimes, and here we go. The only reason why it's always Chaldean issue lately, it's because most of their businesses are either playing cards, which is, or related to alcohol, and these two are very hard business to carry, and that's why they have to be watched. If you had a restaurant, I have a lot of Chaldeans own clothing store, nobody go check on them. It's just the nature of that business. But with the right communication, we have no problem. And we do not have discrimination in our city because I'm Chaldean, and I'm a planning commission, and there's another Chaldean, so that's like 40% of planning commission is made up of Chaldeans, and not to mention some of the people that work in the city. So, sorry,
No, Bob has a question too.
Yes.
I don't know if the audience knows, but I'm so proud of Star. She was asked and put on the uniform of the U.S. military, went over to Iraq as a translator, marched out on details just like our servicemen did. And I hope that more people would do that, because if you aren't going to do that for your country, you aren't serving your country. And believe me, she deserves a real round of applause for her service to our country. Thank you, Star. And she spoke at our Rotary Club that I belong to and did a wonderful job of communicating with our Rotarians on what she did over there and how it was, and how the people over there appreciate what's been done for them to give them freedom. They didn't know freedom before there were some of our people over there. So if you're young and you're thinking about how you can best serve your nation, put on the uniform and sign up, because it's a great thing for young people to have to carry forward in their lives, and I commend you for it. Thank you very much.
As foreigners, when we come from wherever we come from, and then we stay here because it's better. If it's not, we would go back. But one thing I noticed, when we come, we land, and there we are. The roads are paved, big beautiful buildings, and then jobs and businesses, and we have to appreciate that when we come, and then thank the people that help. When I first opened my business in El Cajon City years ago, I came to the city and I asked, how do I do this? I had people helping me. I had no idea what to do, and they told me you need to do this, do that, and and go, and I did. I appreciate that very, very much. And if you really want to feel totally American, if you were born here and you really want to feel American, that's right. Just go and help the military. And if you can't go, and if you're too old and you can't be in the military now, just go and try to help the wounded warriors. We have a lot of wounded warriors that need your attention.
And if anybody's a member of a service club, she puts on one heck of a wonderful program that you'll be really thanked for bringing her to your service club or your organization to explained exactly how it was over there and what she did for our nation and how she helped people and saw people that she knew that were killed, and how she translated the language for us. Thank
And
you,
Mr. McDonald, it didn't matter if they were white, black, purple, German, Chaldean, they were all wearing the same uniform, and we all shared that same, we sacrificed for that freedom that we have at home. We sacrificed for our family, our friends. And that's why my mentality changed a little bit. Like when this, with the alcohol, I felt like alcohol, there's a lot of crime, alcohol-related crime in our city. And it would be nice if the Chaldeans can't go and help the army, fighting, maybe they can help the citizens over here because of the nature of their business. If they can just come up with some sort of a way of doing things and accepting, because the ordinance, if they don't do anything bad, if they don't sell to a minor, if they don't sell to somebody that's drunk, if they just follow those, I don't see what the problem is. I don't see what the problem. So I thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, for your service and the council.
Yeah, this is to Mr. Arabo. Mark, I don't want you to think I'm your enemy. We have a mutual enemy. That enemy is evil, intolerance, and I think that it's important we realize that all of us in our own mind, everyone in this room wants best for this city. And what I want for this city is for kids to not be sold alcohol, for the drunks not to be sold alcohol, and for the store owners out there, as long as you don't sell alcohol to the drunks or the kids, you're going to be fine. We're not out to put anybody out of business. Yes. And Mr. Rabo, if I offended you, I apologize. And I think it's really important that we all get along. Just because someone doesn't like an ordinance, you don't like the captain of the ship, don't be drilling holes in the ship so the ship goes down and he's no longer the captain. We all have to live together, and we've gotten along very, very well for many, many years. And I think Star makes a good point. Why does this happen now when the deemed approved ordinance goes into effect next week? This is the last meeting before the deemed approved ordinance goes into effect. So I know, Mark, you do your job, but above all, you're the president of the Neighborhood Market Association, but above all, you're a man, a creature of God, and as one of God's creatures, you have a responsibility to this community, to these kids out here, not to encourage it. You need to encourage your people that own the liquor stores not to sell to the kids or the drunks, and that goes for everybody. We treat everybody the same. We just shut down Vaughn's from selling tobacco for 3 months because they got caught the third time selling tobacco to kids.
Yes.
So we treat everybody the same.
Yeah, I heard about that, and I really wanted to see somebody that's Chaldean so I can share that. You're not being discriminated. Look, this is. But unfortunately, I found that they're not open to communicate. And not open to communicate. Nobody had called me. No one had called me. You didn't call me. Arabo. They didn't, and they didn't want to communicate.
Yeah, thank you very much, Star, and especially thank you for your service. We're going to take a short 2-minute break, and we'll get done with the rest of the agenda. Right. Okay. Name, Kathy?
Marlo Georges. Not sure if they're still here, okay. Jose Sedado.
Jose?
I'm coming.
Good, okay. Test the microphone, please.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope the city attorney helps me with this because I'm going to make some remarks, and because I don't have the ability to engage in cross debate, I hope that you don't attack or sully my name as you have done with others who presented here for you during what should be public comment. What I hear is in a full engagement on an item, and I think it's a violation of the standard decorum that you should be having in the city council. I'm happy to come back in 2 weeks when you agendize the issue, and we can discuss whether or not some of the comments that are subscribed to or written about Mark Lewis's statements are real. It is really disappointing to see the kind of behavior, and that instead of discussing the behavior and throwing the behavior aside as a despicable act of racism, you're just making it part of deemed approved. I don't know why you're trying to, the deemed approved issue is not on the agenda. The deemed approved issue is settled in the city as far as I'm concerned. And so let's talk about why we're really here. I came once again to visit El Cajon. I'm not a resident. And I am interested in being a part of El Cajon. I drive here, I shop here, I put gas in my car here. Nobody asks me if I'm a resident or not. When I do that, I assume it's just something that we do. And I want to know if the comments made by Mr. Lewis that are attributed to him in the newspaper and the Progressive magazine discussing how children get out of Mercedes-Benzes and then get free food because that's what they're trained to do. They learn really early how to get these freebies, is something that you're willing to reject and apologize for. You should sue that newspaper for defaming you if they're saying bad information. But that article that we all saw on the website is terrible. That article that we all saw on the website is terrible, and I'm surprised your colleagues are spending their time criticizing Mr. Arabo instead of dealing with the real issue, which is, did you say deplorable acts? Should you apologize for them? I also understand Vicky Butcher was not given a fair shot when you guys voted to replace that other person that was on council, the one that went to jail. And instead of apologizing for the statement that she may have heard or may have not heard, we're gonna have to go to the public record and play the recording so you can hear yourself say those things. So I'm hoping that the city attorney reminds all of you that we're not supposed to be in cross debate, that you're not supposed to be commenting back to us, and hopefully what you're gonna be doing is in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whenever you have another council meeting, you'll agendize the issue, you'll let us present the facts, and if we are wrong, I'm hoping we're wrong, you can tell us, hey, you were wrong when you read that article attributing the statements to Mr. Lewis, that you read that incorrectly. He wasn't saying that about the poor immigrant people here. We have experience. Escondido is real. El Cajon is real.
Oh, sir, I wanted to thank you for coming. I know you were speaking before several times against the deemed approved ordinance, and I appreciate your input.
Thank you so much.
Kathy?
Andrea Cardenas.
Please come forward, test the microphone.
Hello, City Councils. I'm here on behalf of the students that are here, and I'm deeply offended at the fact that you guys have used language insinuating that we're just being used as pawns. We are all very educated youth, and we are very civically engaged, and we're here because we do think that there's an issue of discrimination. Regardless of if it's visible to you or not, it's something that we see and that we feel, and we do want those things to be established. This has nothing to do with any other ordinance. We're here because we really do care about seeing a more diverse El Cajon and being able to see ourselves through representatives, which is something that we don't see currently. So I'm very offended at the fact that there's an insinuation that because we're young, we aren't informed or we're not capable of understanding the issues. And that I just really wanted to put that forward, that we are not just pawns like you guys established.
Quick question.
Bill?
Hi. I really am curious as to find out how you're being discriminated against. What has this body done to discriminate against you?
It is institutional. You said it earlier, like it's
institutional racism.
It is. It's the fact that as individuals we can't look up. I represent a lot of Latino youth, a lot of young activists, and the fact that we can't look up to our city council and see we can be active or we can be represented because we aren't being represented.
Just curious, did you know that there's a Mr. Santos and a Mr. Ramos?
It's not about who's Latino
who isn't.
It is not about who's Latino or who's Chaldean. Yes, I am. I'm aware. But it's the fact that, look around us. Just look around us right now, and we don't see somebody that's representing us. and that's it, and that's all we wanted to establish. It has nothing to do with if there's one Latino somewhere, or two Latinos somewhere. It has to do with, it's a bigger picture.
So just to be clear, have you been discriminated against, aside from the public not voting in the people that you want them to vote in?
I think it's set up, the system is set up so that it isn't fair.
My question is, has there been a policy or some kind of action by this board that has caused you to feel discriminated against?
There's been comments, and I'm not Chaldean, I am Latino, but I have read the comments that Mark Lewis has made, and I am not okay with that because
I'm not defending any comments.
Right.
I'm just trying to ascertain whether or not there's anything that this board has done by any of the laws it's passed or any of the policies it's made that has discriminated against you or anybody you know.
Does it not matter the fact that there's somebody just sitting on the city council that has done
I'll take that as a no.
But think about it. Like, you already have somebody in there that is prejudiced against it.
Well,
so
that's a different issue. I'm trying to understand how deep this issue goes, because I've heard a couple of things today. I've heard people upset about comments, and that's legitimate.
Yeah.
But I've also heard people saying that the entire city is against minorities.
It's not
set
up. Okay, so
I want to find out what it is.
To address that, I personally believe that the city is not set up in a way where it is accessible for people of any other race that is not, white, to be able to come in and actually. I believe that it's not set up in a way that we can actually.
So, I understand. You don't like the people that were voted in.
No. I don't care about. No. It's nothing against you guys. It has nothing to do.
I just want to ask one last time: is there a law or any stance that this city council has taken that has discriminated against you or any other ethnic group?
Against Chaldeans, I know there has been.
What is that law?
There has been laws. There's been laws that,
Please tell me.
Okay, so there was the card rooms that you guys eliminated, and that's part of their culture, and you guys didn't eliminate, others. Like, it's just, there's little things like that.
That's kind of what I thought, because what really happened was that we allowed the card rooms.
Okay.
We actually changed the law to protect the Chaldeans community.
Okay.
And I thank you, appreciate it.
Okay, no problem.
All right, thank you. Kathy,
Hey, Raduki.
please come forward.
Yes, I'm just giving my time to Mark Arabo.
What was that?
No.
We don't do that
He wants to
here.
give his time to Mr. Arabo.
No, we don't do that. So if you want to speak, now's the time to speak. Okay? If you want to speak, fine, we'll not hear you, but we don't allow time. Okay? So any other cards?
Last card is Monica Sachs.
So Monica, Zach, what's been happening in our home?
Thank you, Mayor. A lot of great things, I think. And Monica Zeck, Public Information Officer for the City of El Cajon, proudly here for 12 years, Latina. But again, I'm very proud to be working for the city because thanks to the mayor and the staff, the council members, we've got a lot of great events coming up in our city, and I'm here to tell you about several that are coming up. In fact, the biggest is coming up this Friday. October 25th, it's the second annual Hunt Fest on Main. It's on East Main Street between Araya, Magnolia, and Claydale Avenues. It's from 5 to 10 p.m. There are going to be live bands, in fact 2 stages with live bands, a jury art show, costume contest, a haunted car contest. We'll have the costume contest for kids and adults. And there's a haunted terror truck. Just a lot of great things. We had a huge turnout last year. We're thinking we're going to get another big turnout. I did bring some flyers for the audience here, and we've got them all around the city. I delivered something like 9,000 of them to the area schools, so we're expecting a nice big turnout. And again, that's this Friday in downtown El Cajon. This is a free family event for the public, and this is for the entire community of El Cajon and surrounding areas. Anyone who can hear me and see me, you're welcome to come to this city. On November 7th, 8th, and 9th, thanks to our council, we've got a great project coming on. It's called Kaboom. It's a playground, prep, and building days. The recreation staff has talked about this. November 7th and 8th are the prep days. We are inviting anyone who's skilled in construction and such to come and join us as a volunteer on those days. And also on the actual build day, November 9th, we're building a multi-generational playground at Bostonia Recreation Center at 1049 Bostonia Street in the city of El Cajon. And that particular day, we'll be building from 8:30 till whenever we finish up, about 3:30. So if you'd like to come and volunteer, we'd like you to register, and that number is 441-1756, 441-1756. And you can pre-register. And we're also looking for donations of tools, so rakes, shovels, drills, things like that. We'd love the donations if you could, and help us out build this great playground, Bostonia Elementary. And then we're proudly celebrating our centennial year, celebrating all the people that made El Cajon what it is today. And November 12th is that day. We're wrapping up our centennial with a centennial farewell celebration at Centennial Plaza, just a few yards from where we are right now. And that'll be from 12 noon until 3 p.m. And again, we're inviting the public out to celebrate the end of our centennial year that we started November of last year, November 12th. And not only are we also honoring again the 100 years, we're honoring our veterans that have given us our freedom that we enjoy today. So we're honoring our veterans, and we're also honoring the people who have volunteered in our city. We're celebrating the 100 hours, honoring 100 years. That's our centennial volunteer program, and we've got a lot of people that we're honoring who have donated their time here in the city, again, to make it big and wonderful here. I also want to remind you too that when I was talking about HauntFest, if people have noticed the image that has been emblazoned, it's a projection of the HauntFest logo on the side of City Hall. And it's kind of the northwest side. So in the evening, now through HauntFest this Friday, you'll see that emblem, HauntFest on Main. So hopefully you'll join us this Friday.
Thank you very much, Monica.
Thank you, sir.
You did an excellent job. Kathy, that was it, right? All right. Now we'll go on to the rest of our agenda. There's no other communications. We have a public hearing regarding delinquent refuge collection charges. So, need to open public hearing to receive testimony. I think we're all familiar with this. So, Kathy, do you have any weak cards?
No, I don't have any on that.
None? Okay, then move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Move second, please vote. Public hearing is now closed. I move to adopt the next resolution in order certifying the list of property owners as delinquent and the new list that we have all out in front of us, new revised. Delinquent in payment of the mandatory trash service bill, and authorize the city clerk to record the amount owed as lien on the property and forward the list to the county tax assessor for billing of the next property tax bill. Move second, please vote. And that motion passes. Thank you very much. We'll now move on to